Hey friends, welcome back. We are here in Manitoba getting caught up on our YouTube videos, our adventures from a few weeks back. This is a big episode where we hit our final US states before crossing the border back into Canada. So we'll take you back there. What have we got in store in Washington State?
Well, we've got a few parks, a state park and a national park. We have a rainforest, a beachcombing museum, and we get into vampire territory. Will we get out without getting bit? Stay tuned to find out. We headed north in Washington State. We started off with a really nice campground on the Columbia River. We enjoyed our stay here, kind of view of the big boats going by on the way to Portland. After we left the campground, we headed north and we stopped at the world's largest egg. However, this is in Winlock. However, this is very controversial because there are other larger eggs, including one in Canada, in Alberta. So, not sure if that is true, but it was kind of an interesting stop to break up our drive anyway.
Our destination at this point was Penrose Point State Park. And I had a friend from university who'd been tracking our travels and lives out this way. And it lined up that we could get together with Martin for a night of camping here at Penrose Point. So thanks for letting us crash your camping trip, Martin. It was really nice to see you and catch up and enjoy some of the tidal pools here in the park. Really nice little state park.
After leaving the state park, we headed north to go to our next national park, Olympic. We started off in the Hurricane Ridge area. This is a really nice kind of scenic drive. You get up high. And from there, at the end of the drive, we actually did a hike called Hurricane Hill. This seemed like it would be a fairly short paved hike. However, it was quite a bit of elevation. And it was pretty warm for that day, for that high of elevation. But we had some really cool views out over the strait. We could actually see Victoria, which was pretty neat. And so, well worth it to get up there. And then we kind of continued on towards our campsite.
So this is on the west side of the park near the town of Forks. And you might recall that Forks is the inspiration for the Twilight documentary series. I was incorrect. It wasn't actually filmed here. That was filmed with vampires in Oregon, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but still vampires here. Thankfully, they had a sign and a treaty zone here. So our campground was actually within the treaty zones, no vampires allowed. So that was quite a relief for me. We did get into the town of Forks. We saw one of the trucks from the films, I guess, and I enjoyed the map of the world where all the visitors had come from to visit Forks. It was just stuffed full of pins. Lots of Twilight fans, I guess, have passed through this quite small town of Forks.
One of the big attractions at this park is Hoh Rainforest. This is pretty cool to have a rainforest within the US, and it's a lot of really mossy trees, really pretty, and some hiking trails around there. So we kind of got there, we did a little hike. So this area, this rainforest area, actually gets on average 138 inches of rain annually. Compare that to Death Valley, which on average gets 2 inches. So quite a contrast from the two parks. That was pretty neat. Our campsite was located close to Rialto Beach. This is pretty cool beach, very nice and very scenic. And the idea is there's kind of some cliffs out on the sea that you can see, and supposedly those are the inspiration for the cliffs that some of the kids jump from in the Twilight series. So that was kind of neat to see. While in Forks and looking around at the different designated Twilight sites, I noticed this little museum called the Beachcomber Museum, and it sounded just like something Craig would just love.
And I did. This was John's Beachcombing Museum. John is a retired plumber, but he also spent over 4 decades collecting stuff on the beach. And he's used his garage now to put that on display and welcome the public to come and see it. This was an incredible collection. I think maybe it's just the old man in me. I love a good treasure hunt. I love metal detecting and walking the beach. This was just, I couldn't believe the scale and scope and variety of things that he had in this collection. Upstairs, he had a partial collection from a friend of his in Texas who also beachcombed there. Just absolutely wild, and an incredible display and an incredible lifetime spent combing the beach. So I really, really enjoyed this one. So much so I had to buy the hat even, and an excellent surprise stop, another quirky roadside museum, indeed right up my alley.
And just really well done. It was really almost artistic outside, how everything was laid out. So I really enjoyed it. It was neat.
So this has been yet another eclectic episode, a little bit of everything, which kind of sums up our time in the United States. Even it's been a real blast. Here are a few stats for you from our time in the U.S.
So 128 days in the US, 18 national parks, and Zero vampire bites.
Now, even though in our next episode we do catch a ferry back to our home country of Canada, we're still a long ways from home in Ottawa. What lies ahead?
Oh, lots. First off, we visit Vancouver Island and some friends and stay with them. Then we're on to the mainland. We do some biking in Squamish and more visits with friends and family, and we do some Canadian national parks.
Lots lies ahead. Stick with us. We'll see you soon.